anybody's guess as to who's going to get promoted from League One at the moment, with Portsmouth running away with it, but who will join them in the Championship next season? Will it be Derby? Will it be Bolton? Will it be Barnsley? Of course, we're going to get into all of that and more. Today we're looking forward to match day number 33, I think, over in League One, of course, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. Of course, your one-stop shop for League One continues right here at Blackburn Rovers Seas. We've also got Rovers coverage, world football. We've got it all here under one rooski. That's right. Of course, busy old week ahead, double match week as well, with predictions today, and of course predictions later on in the week, as of course we'll find out, or maybe get a bit of clarity as to who's going to go up to the Championship this season. Of course, we'll get to that in 1 minute. Of course, big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. But again, if you're new, subscribe. But whopping 75% of you are not subscribed, guys. What's that all about? Anyway, let's get into it. Of course, recap the results last time, the prediction league and all that jazz, and then we'll see where we are with the table. So here we go then. Blackpool with a 1-1 draw against Oxford. I went with a 2-0 win. Not too good on that one. Meanwhile, Bristol Rovers did lose to Burton over in Bristol. 2-1 win there for Burton. Big win for them towards the foot. Cambridge also lost to Cheltenham. Surprise, surprise. Not going in my favour. But Portsmouth, of course, continued where they left off. 1-0 winners over Carlisle. I went with a 2-0 win myself. Derby could only muster a draw against a fighting Shrewsbury. I went with the 2-1. 1-1 score it was in the end. Barnsley, 2-1 winners of Leyton Orient, 2, of course. New manager or manager of the month curse, you would see, for Leyton Orient. I went with a 2-0 win for Barnsley on that one. Reading did beat Charlton, of course, under Nathan Jones right now. Big result that for Reading. Lincoln City with a 2-1 win over Fleetwood. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Northampton Town with a 1-1 draw against Bolton. I went with a 2-2 draw on that one. Port Vale managed to salvage something, a 2-2 draw against Stevenage. I went with a 1-0 win myself. Exeter with a 2-1 win over Wigan. I went the other way. And a big win for Wycombe Wanderers. 5-2 winners over Peterborough, of course, to give them a big old boost. And on the same. So those are, of course, the matches and the results and all that kind of jazz. But what about the table? Well, the table looks like this right now. It is Portsmouth running away with it, 6 points clear of Derby, who are in second spot right now. They have played a couple of games more than Bolton, who are in third spot, of course. And Barnsley also got a game in hand on Derby. Peterborough also in the mix as well. Stevenage can't go away. And you can't rule out the likes of Oxford United, Blackpool, and ignore Wigan for a second, because they are not there. They are down in 14th spot. But, of course, you can't write off Leyton Orient either. I think they might be a little bit too far off the pace, but I would say Blackpool, Oxford are in the discussion for the time being, but we'll see how that progresses this week, because a lot more clarity can happen this week with the two matches, of course, to really fine-tune this season. But anyway, that's enough about that, but let's take a look then at, of course, the prediction league. Well, here you go then. It is, of course, Reflex Swift with 6 points, Swindon Army up there with 6 as well. Ultra Oma Murat doing the biz in third as well. Well done to you guys, and of course the overall leaderboard looks a little bit like this. With Jamesby's FC top of the charts with 142, Frosty's up there with 136, Swindon Army up there with 134, of course. Still a lot to be played, lots of points to be had, and of course, even if you started now, you might, and you got all of them right, you might just win it. But anyway, that's enough about that. This is, of course, the next round of games, which are coming at you thick and fast, starting on Halloween Eve. It feels like it to some people. Valentine's Day Eve, of course, the 13th of Feb. Of course, this coming Tuesday. They are thick and fast. Of course, this is a Monday, so make sure you're getting your picks in nice and early. So here we go then with Bolton against Wycombe over in Bolton. Now, these two sides have played each other 7 times in 2019. 2 wins for Bolton, 5 for Wycombe, 0 draws. Of course, the biggest win for Bolton was a 3-0 win, scoring 7 goals in 7 matches, a goal a game on average. Meanwhile, Wycombe 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 10 goals in 7 games, 1.43 goals a game. Wycombe on a bit of an uptick on form right now, 67% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 15th for the table, 37 points on the board against the Bolton side, 50% form for them right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to over the last 6. However, just one, what we're looking at, winless in 3. They are third in the table, 59 points on the board right now. Last time around, though, in Bolton, it was a 3-0 win for Bolton back in August 2022. That was in League 2. Sorry, that was in League 1, sorry. They did play each other back in October in Wycombe. It was a 4-2 win for Bolton as well. The odds for this one, Bolton 5-4 on for the victory, 11-4 is the draw, 7-2 is, of course, your Wycombe. Bolton are, of course, a contender here for automatics, so let's give them where credit's due. 2-0 win, but Wycombe are in form, so it's going to be a tricky old game. And on the same, Burton, they're up against Carlisle over at the Pirelli. Pirelli. Now, these two sides have played each other 5 times, 2004. We got 1 win for Burton, 2 for Carlisle, 2 draws as well. The biggest win for Burton, the only win, in fact. 4-3 win, scoring 6 goals in those 5 games, 1.20 goals a game. Carlisle, though, 2-1 win. Their biggest score was 7 goals in 5 matches, 1.40 goals a game. Carlisle winless in I don't even know how many. They're on 0% form for them right now. 24th in the table with 20 points on the board right now. Burton, 42% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. They are 17th with 35 points on the board as well. Last time around, though, over in the Pirelli, it was a 1-1 draw back in April 2015. That was in League 2, of course. They did play each other back in Carlisle early in the season. It was a 2-1 win for Carlisle. The odds for this one, though, 5-4 is your Burton, 11-5 is your Carlisle, 23-10 is the draw here. Going to go with a 1-0 win for Burton on this one. And, of course, continue their recent run of events. Meanwhile, Nathan Jones over in Charlton up against Lincoln and Michael Skabuba played each other 7 times, 2020. 2 wins for Charlton, 4 for Lincoln, 1 draw. Of course, the biggest win for Charlton was a 3-1 win. Scored 8 goals in those 7 games, 1.14 goals a game on average. Lincoln, 3-1 win, the biggest, scored 11 goals in 7 matches, 1.57 goals a game. Lincoln, 58% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 5. They are 10th, 41 points on the board against the Charlton side, who are in a bit of trouble right now. 8% form for them right now. Winless in 15, 20th in the table, 31 points on the board as well. And they've got Alfie May, who is got top goal scorer, 16 goals right now. Last round over in the Valley, it was a 2-1 win for Charlton back in January 2023. They already played each other over in the Central Bank back in October. It was a 3-1 win for Lincoln. The odds for this one, though, 23-20 is your Charlton, 12-5 is your away win, 12-5 is the draw. We've got to see the Nathan Jones effect fast, or Charlton could be in a right old bit of a mix. I'm going to go with a win for Charlton, 2-1 win, just enough. And, of course, first points on the docket for Jonesy. Cheltenham, of course, big win for them last time around against the Blackpool side, of course, over in Cheltenham. Played each other just the 7 times, 2003. 1 win for Cheltenham, 5 for Blackpool, 1 draw, of course. Biggest win for Cheltenham, 3-0 win, scoring 10 goals in those 7 matches, 1.43 goals a game. Blackpool, though, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 14 goals in 7 matches. That's 2 goals a game on average. They're on 50% form right now, 1-2 lost to and drawn to, 8th in the table, 47 points on the board against the Cheltenham side. 2 wins of the last 6, 33% form for them right now. 22 spots in the table there, 26 points on the board as well. Last time around, though, over in Cheltenham, was a 2-2 draw back in October 2016. They did play each other over at Bloomfield Road back in October. It was a 3-2 win for Blackpool. But the odds for this one, we have Cheltenham 11-4 for the victory. Even Stevens is your Blackpool. 13-5 is, of course, the draw. Going to go with a 2-0 win for Blackpool on this one. On the road, big points in the bag, of course, and kicking ass and taking names. Meanwhile, Exeter City take on Derby over in Exeter. Now, these two sides have played each other 4 times, 2011. 1 for Exeter, 2 for Derby. 1 draw, of course. The biggest win for Exeter was a 1-0 win, scoring 2 goals in 4 matches, 0.50 goals a game on average. Derby, though, 2-0 win, the biggest, scoring 4 goals in 4 games. That's the goal a game on average. They're on 67% form right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are second with 60 points on the board right now. Against the Exeter side, 75% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They have ridden a roller coaster. What a season they've had. They were doing all right, then they went off the face of the earth. A real horrific form, and I called for his head, Gary Caldwell, but guess what? 13th for the table, 39 points on the board, 75% form for them right now, of course. Last time around, though, over in Exeter, there was a 2-1 win for Derby. That was back in April 2023. Earlier in the season, in Pride Park, it was a 2-0 win for Derby as well. 14-5 is your Exeter, 11-10 on is your Derby, 11-4 is the draw. Going to go with a 1-1 draw on this one, point in the bag. I think both sides will be happy to continue an unbeaten bit of play there. Meanwhile, Stevenage up against Bristol Rovers in Stevenage. Of course, played to the 6 times, 2015, 3 for Stevenage, 1 for Bristol Rovers and 2 draws. Biggest win for Stevenage, 2-0 win, scoring 6 goals in 6 games, 1 goal a game on average. Bristol Rovers, though, 4-0 win, the biggest, also 6 goals in 6 games. That's, of course, a goal a game on average. 33% form for Bristol Rovers right now, 2 wins of the last 6. They are 12th with 40 points on the board against the Stevenage side. Just 1 defeat in the last 5. 58% form for them, of course, 6 in the table, 53 points on the board as well. Last round, though, over in Stevenage, it was a 4-0 win for Bristol Rovers back in February 2022. That was in League 2. They also played each other earlier in the season over in Bristol. It was a 1-1 draw back then. The odds here, 6-5 on is your Stevenage, 11-4. The draw, 60-5. Is, of course, your Bristol Rovers. Stevenage off the boil a little bit. Going to go with a 2-1 win for them to keep the heat on in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Fleetwood up against Reading, of course, over in Fleetwood. Played each other just the 1 time in 2023. 1 win for Fleetwood, nothing for Reading. 0 draws, of course. The biggest win for Fleetwood, 2-1 win. Scoring 2 goals in the 1 game, of course. 2 goals a game on average, of course. Reading, of course, 1 goal game on average. They're on 67% form. Reading right now unbeaten in the last 5. 18th for the table, 34 points on the board against the Fleetwood Town side. 23rd in the table, 25 points points on the board, 42% form for them as well. Of course, they did meet earlier in the campaign in Reading. It was a 2-1 win for Fleetwood. They're trying to do the double over them. The bookies, though, for this one, we do have Fleetwood 15-8 for the victory, 5-2 the draw, 29-20 is your Reading. I'm going with a Fleetwood victory here. There was something about them this week. I know they didn't really. I think they lost this weekend, but there was something about them that I've got. I think they've turned a massive corner with Charlie Adam, and I think they'll start getting the points in. And this will be a big one, and on the same over in Fleetwood. Kicking off forward though, it is the Orient, Leyton Orient up against Northampton Town. Of course, bit of a mid-table crunch clash. Played each other 25 times since 2003. 6-4 Leyton Orient, 10 for Northampton, 9 draws as well. The biggest win for the Orient, 3-0 win, scoring 26 goals in 25 matches, 1.04 goals a game. Northampton Town 4-0 win, the biggest, scoring 34 goals in 25 matches, 1.36 goals a game. They're on 50% form. Are Northampton, just 1 win in 5, 11th in the table, 41 points on the board. Up against the Leyton Orient side, 75% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 9th with 45 points on the board as well. Last time around, though, over in Brisbane Road, it was a 0-0 draw back in October 2022. That was in League 2. However, they did play each other over at the Six Fields. It was a 2-2 draw back in October this campaign. The odds for this one, though, the Orient are 10-7 on for the victory, 14-5 is, of course, the draw. 4-1 is your long shots, Northampton Town. Back in the Orient here, back to winning ways, and maybe, just maybe, making a sneaky push for those playoffs. Meanwhile, Oxford United up against Wigan, of course, over in the Kazam. That's right, played each other 7 times since 2017. 2 for Oxford, 4 for Wigan. 1 draw, of course, the biggest win for Oxford. 2-1 win, scoring 7 goals in 7 matches, 1 goal a game on average. Wigan, biggest win for them, 7-0 win, scoring 16 goals in 7 matches, 2.29 goals a game on average. On 50% form are Wigan right now. We've got 1-3, lost 3 over the last 6. On paper, 14th for the table, 37 points on the board. Against the Oxford side, 7th in the table, 52 points on the board, of course. Winless in 5 right now. They are on a hiding and nothing. 42% form for them at the moment. Meanwhile, last time round over in the Kazam, it was a 3-2 win for Wigan, who are unbeaten against Oxford over the last 3. A couple of wins and a draw to boot. They did play each other at the DW back in October. It was a 2-0 win for Wigan. The odds for this one, though, 11-10 on is your Oxford, 3-1 is your Wigan. Of course, 13-5 is the draw. I'm going to go with a draw again on this one. Oxford not really getting many wins at the moment, so I don't think their playoff dreams are going to last too much longer. Peterborough against Port Vale in the battle of the Peas, of course. Over at Peterborough, played each other, of course, 16 times, 2003. 8 wins for Peterborough, 5 for Port Vale, 3 draws, of course. The biggest win for the Posh was a 4-0 win, scoring 27 goals in 16 matches, 1.69 goals a game on average. Port Vale, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 16 goals in 16 matches, 1 goal a game on average. On 17% form are Port Vale, 21st in the table, 31 points on the board. Against the Peterborough side, 42% form for them right now, just 1 win in 5. They are 5th with 56 points on the board, coming at you as well. Last round over at Peterborough is a 3-0 win against Port Vale, who have beaten Port Vale over the last 4 matches in a row, and they haven't conceded a goal in any one of those last 4 matches, of course. But the bookies on this one, we have Peterborough at 2-1 on for the victory, 4-1 the draw, 5-1 is your long shots. Going to go with another win for Peterborough here, 3-1 win at home to maintain their playoff/automatic dreams. Meanwhile, Portsmouth up against Cambridge, coming at you over at Fratton Park. Played each other 12 times, 2014, 8 for Pompey, 2 for Cambridge. 2 draws, of course, the biggest win for Portsmouth, 6-2 win, scoring 23 goals in 12 matches. That's 1.92 goals a game. Cambridge, though, 2-1 win, the biggest, scoring 11 goals in 12 matches, 0.92 goals a game on average. Cambridge on 50% form at the moment, 1-2, lost 2 and drawn 2 over the last 6. They are 16th with 35 points on the board. Against the Portsmouth side, unbeaten in the last 5, 75% form for them right now. They are top with 66 points on the board as well. Last time around, though, over at Fratton Park, it was a 4-1 win for Pompey back in August 2022. They did play each other over in Cambridge earlier in the season. It was a 0-0 draw as well. But the odds for this one, Portsmouth 9-4 on for the victory, 10-3 is the draw, 7-1 your long shots. Portsmouth are winning this one as well, 2-0 win to take it to the house. And then wrap it up. It's Shrewsbury, it is Barnsley, it's over at Shrewsbury, of course, played each other 7 times, 2015, 2 for Shrewsbury, 5 for Barnsley, 0 draws as well. The biggest win for Shrewsbury, 3-1 win, scoring 7 goals in 7 matches. That's a goal a game on average. Barnsley, 3-0 win, the biggest, scoring 13 goals in 7 matches, 1.86 goals a game, of course. 75% form for Barnsley right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6, 4th in the table, 56 points on the board. Against the Shrewsbury Town side, just 1 win in 6, 25% form for them. They are 19th with 34 points on the board as well. Last round, over in Shrewsbury, it was a 1-0 win for Barnsley. Have won 4 in the bounce against Shrewsbury, of course. But the bookies for this one, 13-5 your Shrewsbury, even Stevens your Barnsley, 5-2 is the draw here. We're going to go with a 2-1 win for Barnsley, of course, making a push again for higher ground in the table. That's, of course, my matches and my pickaroos. But what about the table? Well, the table will look like this. If I'm right, it'll be Portsmouth, it'll be Bolton, it'll be Derby, Peterborough, Barnsley, and then Stevenage. Going down, Port Vale, Fleetwood, Cheltenham, Carlisle, or something along those lines. You can consider Reading, you can consider maybe even Wigan. I don't even know. But anyway, that's my picks. Make sure you drop them down below. But of course, we look forward to seeing you back again later in the week for the next round of matches over in League One. But until then, we're done.